right, so this is gonna be a different type of segment, and I don't know what to really take away from this story, but there's a lot, and many of you might just be laughing about it. So you might know the channel called Surrounded, where one person is facing off against 20 people of the different spectrum. Now, look, I would never subjugate myself to this because, I'm not one of those people who wants to say, "Oh, I'm going to change your mind," or "I'm going to own 20 people." Like, look, I'm one of those people where it's like, okay, if I'm having a conversation with libertarians or Trump supporters, and yes, even liberals or anybody else in between, communists, socialists, anarchists, whatever, I at least want to hear your perspective. I'm not going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to change your mind, so shut up." No, I want to hear you. I want to hear your side. Okay, you're not going to change my mind, but I will consider. Oh, that's an interesting perspective. But Jordan Peterson seemed to have stepped in it or not, and so I'll have all you decide what's going on here. I'll have all of you decide what is going on. There's a little bit more. There's a little bit more. There's a little bit more here. There's a little bit more. Everyone, calm down. Just calm yourself down. All right. Um, we got one more video. Hold on. Yeah, let's talk about this here for a second because none of us are perfect. None of us are. None of us are. But the reason why I wanted to play that video there because I just want to bring this up. I mentioned on the show numerous times where you hear liberals the vote, and you've heard this. All of you don't, and here you can't lie about this. I better see a hands up in the air or like a thumbs up. Like you've heard this mentioned at a party where a liberal or somebody has said in one form or another, in some iteration. I'm just going to give these controversial statement in 3, 2, 1. I believe you. You son of a gun. The Kobe Ashi Maru test is a fantastic test. All right. And the only person who never really faced that test until Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, was Kirk because he cheated. But see, the thing is, Mike, we've all known what it's like to lose. And, man, I like Star Trek. Absolutely. Mike, well done. Well done with a good reference here. Well done. Well done. Well, I also want to bring this up here, too, because wanted to pause here because I found that interesting that he said, I would do everything I could not to be in that situation. Throughout history, because I mentioned the Civil War and World War II, throughout history, humanity, people, our ancestors, our predecessors have gone through many historic challenges. And, democracy, freedom of speech, and yes, I know the United States got its fair share of problems. We are very kind of lucky to be born to the point we are now, because back in antiquity, even through the Middle Ages, Renaissance, age of the sky, like there were a lot of dictators and tyrants. I mean, everyone wants to reference first name Adolf, last name Hitler from Germania, but he was just one of many horrible tyrants and dictators and monsters. Okay, there were others who were far, far worse. I mean, come on, look at Genghis Khan and what he did. Look at Alexander the Great. And yes, while they are individuals who shaped humanity, some of their visions were done through his blood. Even Julius Caesar, and there are Roman emperors that I really respect, but also I know if I was alive during that time, I would not be doing something like this right now because my head would be on a spike. However, the correct choice is you would stand with Aurelian. Always stand with Aurelian. He was the hero of the world. I know. Anyways, don't want to go into the meme territory, but Aurelian is our hero, and I would go back in time to try and save him. Anyways, that's when things went wrong with the world, when Aurelian died. Interesting conversation here about faith, about lies, about confronting, about hypothetical scenarios. And so the thing is, the reason why I wanted to play this video is because I did find it interesting that Jordan Peterson was engaging in these conversations, and that he was being challenged critically. But it's just, it's just this whole concept of, okay, Where do you stand on these issues? And where do you, as a person, speak out? Like, where do you stand on certain mindsets, on certain policies, on certain ideas? And of course, there's a lot of people who have been challenging Jordan Peterson. I mean, come on, this is one of those gotcha kind of moments. I mean, this is one of those things where you also have to address it as it's just one of those things that gain attention on the internet. It's sort of like how when Tucker Carlson was interviewing Putin, or you have some other shocking, earth-shattering interview, like Rogan interviewing Trump or something of that nature. It's something to make the internet talk about and give people to talk about. But I want to bring up another video here too. Just another one. Just another one. Don't worry, folks. Just a little bit. I'm not a religious scholar, but even in my points of down, I wonder, like, okay, please, God, get me out of this, or oh boy, God, get me out of this kind of situation, or anything of that nature. I think there's a lot of interpretations, which is why there are many variations of the different faiths. People have different interpretations and point of views and perspectives. But I think the biggest takeaway, isn't that, Jordan Peterson is surrounded and being owned. I think it's more of the substance of the conversation of where do you stand on issues, and also, more importantly, the influence culture that we do see here. Because Jordan Peterson is a person of influence. He's got a large social media following. And I think this says a lot about our current society and the online community of influence, power, and control. And, let's face it, the podcast community, the online community, the influencer community does have its control. It does have its perspectives. And there are many people in different factions and camps who like one show or one influencer over another. And there's always these fights back and forth, the blind devotion. So my takeaway for you, at least what you should take away from this, and you don't have to listen to me, make up your own opinion. Trust in yourself and do your own research. Do not blindly follow people. Do not be subservient to one influencer or one show or one podcast. Be the free thinker. Be the person who will hear all sides of the argument, not just to change your mind, but to also listen to another perspective. And I think that's what's missing in this world. And I think it's great. I think it's disappearing quickly. I think a lot of people are just headstrong in their way of thinking, my side is right, everyone else is wrong. We will not grow or succeed as a people if we don't consider all options and different perspectives. And I'm very fearful that we are walking down a pathway of closed-mindedness, and maybe we've already gotten there. So that's what I encourage you, my audience, to do. Be a free thinker. Be a free thinker and think for yourself. And you know what? Sunny day. Do good works. Try not to hurt people. Live your life and be good to yourself as well. I will subscribe to that concept right there. There you go. And you know what? I'm going to end this segment on a funny note. As I should. I'm going to end this segment on a funny note, because I think, and I think we all think, we should have a funny note to end it on. So let me go ahead and pull up this video segment here, because I think it's worthwhile to have and listen to. So let's go ahead and pull up this video here and have some fun, shall we? I think so.
Sin crouches at your door like a sexually aroused predatory animal, and you invited it in to have its way with you.
That's so hot. Anyone else hard?
I have a hard cock.
Oh, you like that boner?
Nice.
Let's boner fight.
What the hell's going on here?
It's hard.
I got a boner. I like a hard thing in my body.
You need to grow up.
Oh, man. It's going to be one of those nights.
One of those nights.
Hedonism is not freedom. It's also pointless and meaningless, and you need to mature. You need to become an adult.
I don't want to do it.
No.
There's no excuses. Maturation is productive and sustainable, and immaturity is divisive and destructive.
Dude.
I'm in it for funsies.
Yeah.
That's what I'm in it for.
Jesus Christ, Joe. You have no idea how dark that is.
Listen, man,
Oh.
Coke doesn't snort itself.
It's not good. You're wandering off the straight and narrow path.
We're just being gay lately, but that's all right.
You've invited something in to inhabit you that's
To make it look good. So there you go.
sin.
Okay, there you go. All right, folks. That's just a way to end this segment. Just be a free thinker. Think for yourself. And you know what? I don't know. Maybe we'll have a better future. Maybe if we just work hard, everything will be just fine. Maybe, just maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Will it happen? Who knows? I'll let you decide. But be a free thinker.